Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to A Clash of Kings, still with 2.1, as I believe the newest version hasn't come out yet, but, well, we'll see what's happening with about that later on. But whatever the case, we are joined with Brendan Storm. Brendan Clearday was on a break, or on some sort of vacation. Yes, he's probably enjoying the clear days that he has. Oh, yes, fantastic. But we now have Guildmaster Edric right in front of us here, because I would like to buy land in this town. And maybe we'll be able to get another ironworks. So it is 3,500. Our profit actually is going to be incredibly low. I actually don't know what's going on with that. I actually don't know whether I want to buy something here now. Maybe a mill and a baker? No, that would be even worse. Okay, well, what about a weavery and dye works? That would be insane. Wow, okay, apparently not. So, yes, this is not a good place to be constructing a productive enterprise. I decided, you know what, let's take a look at Fair Market, because this is the place where we need to go for the elder brother. I actually did take a look at the Septry over here, and only Brother Bert is there. Obviously no Brother Ernie, but yes, Brother Bert was there. So we are going to be heading on into the castle and talking to the elder brother. Not entirely sure why the quest didn't actually tell me, but I suppose you just have to use your noggin and actually remember where he is. So, did you bring Aegon Bloodborne to justice? Yes, it was quite difficult. Actually not. It was actually pretty easy, but... there we go. The 7-pointed star. Oh, that's a book. Yes. Really? Well done, Elias. I have a gift for you. A book, the 7-pointed star, the holy book of our faith. Treasure it to show your devotion to the 7. Well, I didn't know it was Christmas, and I didn't know I was also getting a pair of socks. But apparently I'm getting a book and some socks. Maybe. Oh no, and apparently we have also angered the Frey family. So that is, well, that's not too good, is it, I suppose? They may attempt to hunt us down at some point, but, well, I don't really care about that, I guess. So, we can now head onward, because we have completed one of the many quests that we have in our quest log there, and we can take a look at the 7-pointed star. Now, that does require 10 intelligence. So, I suppose we will get 10 intelligence. Oh, what an amazing coincidence that we just happened to level up right then. So, what are we going to get? Well, that's the thing. I actually have no idea. I was thinking of more inventory management just because, well, inventory management is always useful, but we are always going to have companions with us unless we are defeated for some unknown reason or another, but hopefully that will not happen. So, I guess the best thing we can do is maybe get more shield, maybe more weapon master, maybe some more riding skill as well. Obviously, I don't have enough skill points for all of those, so I suppose just some shield and weapon master will do, I feel. Let's go for some more two-handed weapon proficiency, thank you very much. And yeah, that should be good. So we're going to be running a little bit faster, and we're going to have, well, more weapon proficiencies available there. And I would like to try and take on those raiders, because even though we have not fought anything for quite some time, I think it would be a rather fun idea to be able to do that, because, well, we haven't fought anything for quite some time, and I'm getting a little bit antsy, and our men are also, but at least they are not getting butterfly, or maybe they are. Who knows? I think it's actually pretty cool to get butterfly, or maybe bubberfly. Maybe something like that. Who knows? But we are going to... Oh, wow, they're just charging us. Okay, well, I suppose that's good, but I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it at all, in actual fact. And I actually... yes, I actually thought that we had a companion set to that number, but apparently no. Apparently we just have unnamed one. I'm actually unsure who unnamed one is, but I guess maybe it's some very powerful entity that we do not want to anger at some point. But yes, let's try and avoid getting killed by any of these guys. I would like to thrust. There we are. There is a nice thrust into that fellow. Very nice indeed to see that. Maybe we can get a couple more kills here because, well, we do need the experience. Although we have just leveled up, I would like to get a little bit more in Iron Flesh and Shield and things like that, so that would be nice. Now, these raiders don't appear to be very effective at all, in actual fact. Xbox is doing a very good job at staying alive. I've got to say I am very proud of him for that, because, well, as we know, he is not particularly known as being the sturdiest donkey in the land. And wow, the peasants are actually dealing some pretty significant damage to us, in actual fact. I suppose it's because they do have pole arms, and the pole arms themselves are actually pretty effective at dealing with cavalry, so I suppose there is that. But that was a very easy victory indeed, and maybe we'll get a little bit of experience there, but oh, it doesn't seem like we are going to be gaining a lot at all, in actual fact. Look at that. We had 0 casualties. Actually quite an amazing eventuality there, but okay, well, what are we going to be going for here? Are we going to go for some axemen, or do we want some two-handers? I think we'll probably go for some two-handers, because why not? I mean, we want them just running around with their huge weapons, slapping people in the face with them, of course, so I think that would actually be a really good idea. As long as they don't do that in the streets, I think that's fine, but as long as they do that in battle against people that actually deserve it, then cool. Why not? Let's do that. So, yeah, we do want to also move Mar onto the top here, as I have been told. That is actually a better idea. So, let's try and do that, and, is there actually anything around here? No, it's actually nothing. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's a scythe. Okay, so it's actually pretty terrible stat-wise, but they were actually able to deal some pretty nice damage to Xbox in that battle, so I guess that's a testament to the design of the weapon itself. Ooh, I would love to be able to take those guys prisoner, or at least to rescue the prisoners that these guys have, should I say. So, let's see what we can do here. 49 against 12. Yeah. It's not going to be very difficult at all, but, well, you never know. I mean, most of our units, excluding the sergeants and the various elite units, actually are wearing some very light armor. As you can see here, this Stormlands Hammerman is actually wearing a robe of sorts, so I suppose that just means that he can run very fast and catch up to people and chase them down, and, well, I guess that makes him a very good plunderer of people and various things like that. So, yeah, that's not bad, because that means that we'll be able to get a couple more prisoners as a result, and wow, that was a very bad slash on my part, but I was not expecting him to approach from that angle, and of course we are on a very, very slow mount indeed. So, let's hopefully not get killed here, please. Yes. Thank you very much, Elias. Yes. Come on now. Yes, we've taken out his horse at least. And there is a Hammerman. Yes, the Hammerman actually did a very nice job of knocking that fellow unconscious. Because we only have 7 prisoners right now, it would be rather nice to gain a little bit more just to be able to sell in the nearby town. If we actually come across a ransom broker, of course. But yeah, it's more likely to happen than not. And, oh yes, I also did neglect to start reading that book. But we are going to be doing that because that's going to give us an additional point in charisma. But I'm thinking to myself, should I actually do it now? Or should I start doing it a little bit later on and give it to our companions instead? Because maybe they can read it. And that might actually be a better idea, because if we get to, I don't even know, maybe level 30, something like that, then that's going to mean that the experience we're gaining is very, very slow, and we might not be able to level up as quickly as we once were, like, for example, at level 12, like we are now. So maybe it would be a better strategy to actually save that book for later on, but I'm just thinking to myself, when am I ever going to get the opportunity to level up charisma? Because usually I'm going to decide to level something else completely, like strength, agility, or intelligence mostly, because, well, I personally feel like excluding leadership, charisma is not useless, but it's not really something that I am looking forward to leveling up. But of course, leadership is very important as it is, so maybe we do want to go for something like that. But, well, let's just check out the loot here real quick, and then we'll be making our way onward. Back to Fair Market. Yes, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, that was actually pretty good, I guess. Yeah, pretty successful. Let's sell all of that. Thank you very much. He is selling that for 433. That's pretty nice. And, yes, we do need to find a ransom broker, so let's head into the tavern and take a look. Is there going to be... Oh, yeah. Wow, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I really did not know there was actually anyone in here. And, oh, yeah, look at that. 1,320 coins for 9 prisoners. Now, that is amazing. We always love coins, don't we? I mean, seriously. How can we not? So, yes, that is great. Leah, the tavern keeper. Yes, well, don't particularly want to speak to her right now. And I guess the best thing for us to do would be, well, not do that just yet, but we are close to it. We are pretty close to it, but we do need to get actually quite a lot more high-level units for us to do that. So maybe we could go and pick up the illuminated copy of A World of Ice and Fire. You can find the illuminators in the shop, known as the Illuminated Lioness in Lannisport. Or we could go to visit Coppersmith's Wind in King's Landing and talk to Malco. Oh yes, John Malkovich. Yes, we do want to go there, but it is very, very far away, but Lannisport is equally far. So I think we're just going to go to King's Landing for now, and we'll see if we can complete that quest and see what's going on there, of course. But maybe we could also fight a couple of people along the way, if they are worthy of our attention, of course, because right now, most of these groups around here, they don't really give that much loot, and they don't really give that much experience either. I mean, sure, yeah, they're probably going to give us a couple of levels. Ooh, this might actually be worth our time. I think it might be, actually. Robber Knights, there are 30 of them. We only have 55 ourselves, so maybe, just maybe, it would be worthwhile us pursuing this engagement, maybe. Let's just have a look here. Ooh, King's Landing was actually under siege. Oh, okay, well, that's good to know, I suppose. Maybe it would be a good idea to react to that as soon as it is taken, because maybe we could declare war against a somewhat minor faction and then decide to take advantage of that fact by taking it when there are literally 50 units in the garrison there. Maybe that would be an idea, but for now, I'm going to be concentrating our efforts on this raider leader. This is going to be, well, 54 versus 30. They probably have quite a few cavalry units, so I'm going to see what actually happens by holding position here. Yeah, there are quite a few breaking off from the main force. So let's see what actually happens, because we don't really have that many cavalry ourselves. We only have 4. So, yeah, this is going to be somewhat difficult, I would say. But I think they have, how many do they have? About 8, maybe 9 cavalry. So we technically should be okay, but only if we tell our infantry to charge right now. Yes, that might be a good idea. And let's tell our cavalry to charge as well. It's always good to get some assistance there. Oh my, there's actually a lot more than I thought. Oh yes, there is a lot more than I thought. And 59 damage definitely says that we should not have messed with those raider horsemen. Not by myself, at least. That was quite the grievous error, shall we say. Oh my, wow, that's really not good. But on the bright side, because we actually charged in immediately, we have now absolutely mopped up, cleaned up all of the cavalry, well, except one. Oh, he actually ran. Wow, that guy was very, very scared, obviously. And now we will just have to clean up the rest of them, of course. But for the most part, that should be very, very easy indeed. I'm actually really surprised that our cavalry is doing as well as it is, because, as you can see, look at this. Most of these infantry units actually do have some rather deadly-looking spears. And I do know that many of you have stated that spears are actually terrible in this mod now, because they've, well, I say they, but, well, the mod creator, whatever, has given the spear a sort of durability, and apparently, if you use it, it has a very high chance of breaking just when you need it. So, yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. I actually don't know why we would have anything like that. Sure, okay, yes, lances can definitely break, but I don't know so much about spears. I mean, they are, of course, made of wood, for the most part, I suppose, but I wouldn't expect them to break that easily. I mean, lances, of course, as you are using them at a very, very high speed, they may indeed break, because they will come into contact with a shield or something like that, and maybe that is what they're thinking with that change, but, well, I'm actually unsure why they would actually do that, but, well, maybe realism and things like that, but I'm not a huge fan of realism when it goes to such an extent as to annoy the player, but, well, whatever the case, we will now head onward. Ooh, our Valentine Lancer was actually eliminated in that particular bout. That's a little bit disappointing, because we'd had actually just gained him, of course. So let's just tell our units just to charge in there, kill the last 2. We did lose a Vale Sergeant, but I'm not really worried about that too much. And we can take a couple of captured enemies here. Hopefully for the next... Oh, hello there. We also gained a bonus item. Oh, that's actually really nice. But unfortunately, it is absolutely awful. It is terrible. And the Mail Gauntlets, ooh, yes, we are definitely going to take the Mail Gauntlets, because we definitely want one of our companions to use that. As you can see, Light Spear. The Light Spear is very likely to crack, splinter, and break in combat. You should always carry a secondary weapon. Maybe it's just because a lot of people used to use the spear solely in previous versions, and maybe that's what they're attempting to balance a little bit more there, but, well, maybe it's a little bit of an overcompensation, perhaps? Ah, well, whatever the case, let's move on to King's Landing. Hopefully they'll have a ransom broker there, and maybe we'll find a couple more enemies to fight. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, especially seeing as we're actually going on to the road here. Oh, hello there. Oh, a real-time event. Okay, so you feel a bit peckish and decide to go hunt for some food in the nearby woods, walking through the undergrowth, whistling a merry tune, because we're not going to get ambushed and slaughtered at all if you tell people where we are, in the woods, of course. You spot what happens... No, you spot what appears, not what happens, thank you very much, to be some sort of wild apple tree. You decide to eat the apples. Yes, you've gained, actually, 5 one-handed weapon proficiency. The apples were very tasty. Of course they were. Yes. Well. Oh my. Okay, we're getting a lot here. This is a little bit worrying to me because now we're starting to get to the real-time events that actually affect your stats in a negative way, perhaps. Going into the woods alone, you suddenly feel a blade across your throat. An outlaw has abandoned you? No, he has not abandoned us unless he was our father or mother or uncle or something like that, but no, he was not abandoning us. He has ambushed us in actual fact, and this is a very serious situation, so maybe I should stop whistling merrily through the woods like I was previously. Listening to him slobber and stammer, it is clear that the man is unstable and dangerous. You decide... Oh no, I actually can't remember which one is good and which one is bad. I think kicking him in the shin is pretty bad. Seizing the blade might actually be good. I'm not sure about the elbow to the groin. I think that might be a little bit difficult, physiology-wise, because I don't actually think that our elbow would be at the level of his groin. I mean, are you serious? I don't actually think so, but we're going to try and seize the blade, but I actually think that that is going to cause us to lose 1 agility. I think it could. Yeah, we lost 1 agility. You managed to get away, but the man cut your hands. Now... this is, in my opinion, one of the worst design decisions anyone could ever make, because, yes, okay, it is a stat, and yes, you can gain it back, but seeing as, well, later game, when we are, as I was saying before, when we are level 30, 35, 40, maybe even 45, it's unlikely that I'll get to 45, but in that case... if you are continuously losing agility, can you imagine? I mean, let's just say that I level up another 10 times and I decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to get my agility up to 18. Spend 9 of my 10 points on getting 18 agility, because that's a nice little milestone for agility. And then you decide, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to stop leveling agility now because I'd like to get some charisma, intelligence, or whatever. But then you get that real-time event 5 times in a row, or, well, not in a row, but 5 times over the course of the next few levels, and you lose that agility every time. Obviously, we would be selecting different options, and maybe the different options would save us from losing agility, but, of course, there are many other real-time events that also have that kind of penalty. So let us hope that we don't run into too many of those, and with my rant over about design decisions in games/mods, I am going to be ending this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.